Ladies and gentlemen, we bike. We back to the reactions, man. Shout out, you know what I mean? I had to deal with a little shenanigans, you know what I mean? Check out my last video if you want to know what's been going on. Shout out to everybody who's been hitting me up about that last video. A lot of people hit me. It was like, oh, I completely see what's going on now. So a salute to y'all. Salute to everybody. But we back. We back, ladies and gentlemen. Screwface on. We got the reunion, no, the anniversary of the battles have been happening, and people have been asking me to recover it, do that, and the third. But I didn't want to just react to the actual songs again for the 15th time. So what I've been doing is reacting to other people's stuff, like who were around during this and their takes. I did Punch. I did Stat Quo and the Company Man. I did with Curtis King. And now we got Torre, the homie. Kendrick Lamar's most diabolical move.
Was a rapper. Now, if you don't know, Drake was a rapper.
Shout out to Josh Johnson.
He was a rapper until Kendrick Lamar rapped while he was rapping, and then they did it at each other, and it did not go well for Drake.
2 years after Kendrick curb stomped Drake, I see it as much more than just a battle.
And you know, I've already done the Euphoria, because we done one for Euphoria, Meet the Grams, and now Not Like Us.
It was a trial, putting Drake's African-Americanness on trial. He may be black, but he ain't African-American. And Kendrick indicted Drake by calling out the soullessness of his blackness.
Drake is being indicted by Kendrick Lamar, implicitly and explicitly. They're trying to de-black Drake, right? Oh, he's not really black because he grew up in Canada, I grew up in Compton.
He said on Euphoria, tell him run to America to imitate heritage.
I do still think, you know, because he's giving a breakdown, I don't think Kendrick Lamar, and I don't think there's enough evidence to say that Kendrick Lamar was saying Drake wasn't black because he was Canadian. I just think a lot of people missed what it was is not saying that you're not black because you're mixed. You're not black because you're Canadian. That's not what we're saying. He's saying you're not culturally black. He's saying that you, and whether you agree with that or not, it's whatever. That's not the point. It's a battle. Right? He's trying to paint a picture and make him look bad. He's saying basically you are like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You use your blackness to elevate you certain things, then you don't speak about certain other black. That's what he was saying. So I don't think he was ever saying what like Michael Eric Dyson was saying he was saying. But
they can't imitate this violence.
He stripped his cultural black impact. He didn't strip his blackness, I think.
Outsiders to America can't imitate, they can't recreate the violence that we can dish out, nor the violence that shapes us. He meant...
And also that, because Torre just made me think of that line. If you think about it, that tell them run to America to imitate heritage, they can't imitate this violence. So he's essentially saying, in a way, speaking about how us as Americans are very violent people, and since he's going against the Canadian, the stereotypes, they're very peaceful people. So in a way, he's kind of making fun of Americans too, or saying like, you can't imitate our dysfunctionality, nigga.
You don't really know our culture because you've never experienced the violence and the trauma that are at the heart of it. The violence that comes at us from the state, from the ops, from our parents, all of that is part of the African-American experience, plus the lasting pain of the violence that happened to our ancestors in slavery, in segregation, in the civil rights movement, and the pain of modern sisters like Breonna Taylor and Sandra Bland, and brothers like Trayvon Martin and Ahmaud Arbery, killed because they were black. If you're not experiencing the trauma of being African-American, are you really African-American? I'm not saying you have to have the police attack you personally. The trauma...
It does say something very crazy, that the experience of African-Americans in the United States, the bonding, a lot of our bonding experiences that we share together is oppressive stuff. and I don't even know what I'm saying to that. Like I'm just pointing out as a fact because it's like, it's crazy that like black people from the South and black people from like a black person from the deep backwoods of Louisiana is so culturally different than a black person from upstate New York. You could almost think they're not even the same cultural thing. But I guarantee you the things, they don't eat the same food, they don't talk alike, they might not even be able to communicate with each other. There's a lot of different things that they don't see the same things, they don't grow up the same at all. But one thing I guarantee you they share in common is oppression. And that is a crazy, crazy fact.
Of African American.
I'm not even saying anything to that. I'm just bringing that up as I'm like in real time, just like that is crazy.
Americanness is in the knowing. It's about knowing that Tamir Rice was murdered and that could have been you. It's about knowing that Nat Turner was lynched. It's about feeling Black history as having happened to you and your family, the good and the bad. We say white folks want our rhythm, but they don't want our blues. That's what Kendrick was saying about Drake. He's about the pleasures of rhythm, but he's not about the pain of being African American. And that's why he's not one of us. He's not like us.
You see, this to me is so much better than just reacting to the song because it's giving a breakdown, another take from somebody who I rock with him. I rock with Torre, and I've done interviews and podcast episodes and stuff. And Torre is, no matter how you feel about Torre is a hip hop legend. I mean, certified first ballad hip hop legend. There's a lot of our legendary artists. The reason they were on the cover of the Rolling Stone, the person who interviewed them, whether it's the Jay-Z's, it's Kanye's, it's him. The most famous, and I can argue the beginning of R. Kelly's downfall was this nigga's interview. And I could pinpoint the exact moment is when this nigga said, do you like teenage girls? And then R. Kelly said, what do you mean by that? That's when it started. It was Torre. I used to watch MTV News as a kid, and yo, it's crazy.
That Drake was not a colleague. He's a colonizer. He's an invader. You can hear the pain and trauma of blackness in Kendrick's music. You can't hear it in Drake's. That's why he doesn't even say nigga right. So Kendrick's theory of the case is Drake's not really black. He's not really a man. He doesn't even raise his own kid. And he's not really doing anything beneficial for hip hop. That last part was critical. I look at Kendrick as having led an almost holy crusade to save hip hop from empty, soulless raps about celebrity, wealth, and endless situationships, to rescue us from vapid music made by a so-so two-dimensional rapper who doesn't truly understand African American culture or himself.
How do you really feel though, Torre?
Drake didn't believe Kendrick could beat him. He was like, no, too many people on my side. I'm too popular. I'm too big. I'm genuinely too big to fail.
Kendrick sought to defeat Drake and put lyricism, intelligence, and authentic conversations about the self back on the throne. You can see that this is about hip-hop in the battle's third figure, Tupac. Pac was mentioned by both rappers in ways that reveal how they see him and his importance in hip-hop.
Tupac was literally the third character in this battle. I'm glad he pointed that out. Tupac was the third character in this battle. I'm going to keep it gangster. He was the third character. And another thing I want to point out and just say, before we get too far in this, in real time, minus the lawsuit, I will forever say this was a great battle. I'm not going to rewrite history and say everything Drake put out was trash. It was the most well, I like the battle in real time. It was I felt like it was a nice volley. It started, Kendrick started putting combos on this nigga. But it was a fun battle to watch. It didn't feel like a thrashing to me. until maybe like the very last songs, but it didn't really feel like, even to me, I was one of the only people on planet Earth, apparently, who didn't think The Heart Part 6 was as whack as everybody else when it first dropped. Now, in hindsight, with aging, I see more of that. But with how facts turned out, yeah, but yeah.
Drake released a corny AI-created song where Tupac is rhyming. It seemed to say that Drake thinks of Pac as someone anyone can use in any way they want. He is commodifiable, even in death, which speaks to how Drake sees hip-hop as a commodity.
Damn.
Kendrick, of course, understands that Tupac is sacred. He's like hip-hop's Jesus Christ figure.
Damn.
He is in many ways the embodiment of the spirit of hip-hop.
Also, this anniversary of this battle is also a good way of me to, if you notice, reflect on a lot of my colleagues in this and give them chances. So I need y'all to go check out Curtis King. I need y'all to go check out Torre's channel, the Torre Show. I need y'all to check out Rap Latte with Torre and Green. I need y'all to go see what's up with Punch. That's all. Facts.
And
And the Company Man and Stat Quo. Go subscribe to the Company Man's channel. Go subscribe to their is it the Green Effect? Their podcast too.
Kendrick posits himself in this battle as fighting for Tupac's honor. And through that, he is fighting to save hip-hop's honor. Because if he is a protector of Tupac, then he is a protector of hip-hop. Kendrick in this battle was trying to
This boy giving a soliloquy, ain't he?
protect hip-hop from Drake. And I don't think this started with first-person shooter. This goes back much farther than that.
Facts.
I think this really started with Kendrick's legendary verse on Control, where he proclaimed himself the king of modern hip-hop. And Drake went out in media and said he did not really understand what Kendrick was doing.
It just wasn't real to me. It's like, I saw him after that, and it was just like love. So it's like, was that real, or was that just like for the people? You know what I mean?
I think it's a sparring kind of sport.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, then let it be real. Then I mean, because those were harsh words, right? So it's like,
those were not harsh words. Those were not harsh. I would get if he's saying this about Euphoria, but the Control verse was harsh. The nigga was just saying, I'm the king of New York. I'm Machiavelli's offspring. I'm the best. It's just him bigging himself up. I kill all you niggas. Is that what you took as harsh? He's not literally saying he's gonna kill you. It's not like he put your, baby or wife in a song. It's not like he did that. So it's like, he didn't do that in Control. So what do you mean? It's obviously an open thing. If I hear Kendrick's Control verse and he put me in it, and I see Kendrick, I'm not going to think there's smoke. I'm not going to think there's smoke. I mean, there's smoke in the booth. I don't think there's real smoke. Like, if anything, I'm going to hit him. Hey, that was dope. But watch what. Yeah, had that energy when I spin. That's what I would do.
you
He
can't
took it a bit serious.
just say that and then see me and be like, yeah, man, what's up? Pretending like nothing ever happened. Like,
But because what doesn't make sense about what Drake's saying is he could still believe that and dap you up and say, what's up? He could give you the biggest hug and a kiss on the cheek, mafia style, and walk away and still think, I would kill this nigga on the track. What do you mean? That doesn't mean Michael Jordan shook hands with a lot of niggas he think that he would smoke. Kobe shook hands with a lot of niggas that he smoked. Matter of fact, he would smoke a team, then shake their hands after.
yeah, that's not real.
What I hear is Drake does not truly understand hip-hop. What Kendrick did on Control was quintessentially hip-hop. For Drake to not get it shows him not understanding something crucial about hip-hop. I think after that moment, Kendrick was waiting for the right moment to attack him and set things straight.
That BET cypher, ha ha, joke's on you, high five. I'm bulletproof, where he tucked the sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes. Yeah.
He was
The Cold War had
lying
started.
in wait for Drake for years. He needed to attack him for the good of hip-hop. That's why this battle is so important and so righteous. Other battles have been about personal grievance. You dissed me, so now I'm dissing you back. This didn't truly flow out of disses. This is not about first-person shooter. It flows out of Kendrick's disgust with Drake as a big name rapper who doesn't really understand the unspoken codes of hip hop. This isn't about grievance, this is about regulating hip hop.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Torre, yo ass should write for Rolling Stone or something. Boy, this is one of the best breakdowns of this. You know what I mean? Like, it feels so cinematic. Like, goddamn.
That's what the king of hip hop is supposed to do.
Drake was a rapper.
There are two ways of establishing who has won a battle. First, who is
And I've said this a million times, I do not think Iceman is going to sell bad. I think Iceman is going to sell very well. And like I said, I've always said, nobody has ever lost their career in a rap battle. A nigga's career never ended because they lost a rap battle. I'm telling you, that's a fact. And you niggas gonna try to bring up cannabis, and I always say this, but I was like, no, cannabis didn't really have a career as we could call him like a mainstream rap, like he had a career. He's an underground bubbling up before 4-3-2-1, before second round knockout. The biggest thing in his career was that battle. So you can't say that he had a massive career after that. I mean, before that battle. So anyway,
making the better records? Who is showing themselves to be the better rapper? Whose songs are more catchy, more compelling, more making the crowd scream? That's one way. If we look at the battle that way, Kendrick wins easily. His records, especially Euphoria, Not Like Us, and Meet the Grams, were far better written, far better rhymed, far better flowed and produced than anything Drake did in this whole battle.
that doesn't mean, you know, I don't want to just completely, because, you know, how I feel about battles, I keep it real. That doesn't mean what Drake was spitting was whack. I do agree, lyrically, Kendrick was leagues above, but I knew that before they started battling. But why I love battle rap is, you know, it's not always the best lyrical nigga wins. You're going to sit here talking about the lyrical and the spaterical, the psychotherapeutic, and forget to diss the nigga. And the other niggas just going to come and be like, nigga, your shoes is whack as hell. And then everybody going to laugh, and then you going to lose.
Kendrick wrote that lyric to his son, to his mom. That was deep, bro. He broke them apart, bro. That was deep, bro.
Kendrick's records were massive. They were.
And with the whole, remember, Kendrick did, he didn't diss Drake's kids, because a lot of people be like, he did. He talked to Drake through, actually he was bigging up his kids a lot. And the only reason he brought it up is because Drake brought up kids first. And he kept begging him, do not bring family into this. Okay, kid, we talking about kids now? The first nigga to do that is the lamest nigga to me. I'm gonna keep it gangster.
Lasers aimed at destroying Drake. They were records with layers, and they were unforgettable. Drake's songs in the battle
What's the best song of this battle? Put in the comment section. I'm saying Euphoria.
were cute. Push-ups and family matters, cute and forgettable. I bet Drake wishes we could forget the whole thing. The second way of establishing who has won a battle is the dozens route, where it's all about saying the worst, most devastating things you can
dozens.
about the other person. The goal?
Bidding, ranking, roasting, whatever y'all call it, where y'all from. That's what he's talking about.
To
Cooking, snapping, whatever.
embarrass your opponent by saying some shit that he does not want said. You're supposed to be a player, but I fucked your wife. You're some tough black guys, but your white manager is taking all your money.
No basketball.
You are hiding a child.
Push it
If
to
you reveal some truly devastating facts about your opponent, then you win. But this is about more than gossip. It's about inception, like the movie Inception, as in trying to put a thought in someone's mind that changes their opinion about someone. If you can say something that changes how the audience perceives your opponent, you just might derail their whole career. If you, as an MC,
I don't think you're going to derail anybody's career. Maybe a little blemishes. Now, I will say, blemish, okay. Yes, blemish all day, you know, where these things will be brought up. But ruin it, end it, derail it.
Can incept
I
the
haven't seen it
audience
yet.
to think about the other person differently, you have won more than a battle.
The last verse on Meet the Grams, that's the Dear Aubrey verse. You have an alcohol problem, you have a pill problem, you have a gambling problem, and you have essentially like an ego problem, like you're sick.
Kendrick definitely incepted the audience to make them think Drake's a PDF and he's a horrible, immoral, immature person. He's a colonizer. He's not one of us. Even the way he says nigga, Talib Kweli told me he didn't realize that Drake says nigga wrong until Kendrick pointed it out.
Kendrick tapped into something I didn't know was in me. As a fan of Drake, in the back of my head, way in the back of my head,
Oh my God.
I don't think I liked hearing Drake say the N-word.
It's all
But
right.
I let it.
Legend interviewing. Shout out to Torre, man. Shout out to him.
Ride because of how dope Drake is. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know that I had a problem with Drake saying that until I heard Kendrick say it. When he said it, I was like, yeah. You went into my brain and accessed something that was in the far recesses of my brain and pulled it to the forefront, and now I got to deal with it.
That's inception. Kendrick wasn't merely trying to win a rap battle. He was trying to destroy Drake's reputation and make it harder to even like him. To ask who won the battle is silly.
2 years looking back, who
Who's
do you think
asking?
actually won the Drake
Who's asking
Kendrick
that?
beef?
I think they got it right with who won that one.
Who's they?
Everyone. Everyone who knows music.
You think it's that clean?
It's as clean as it could be.
Kendrick had the better records by far. He had the better disses by far. And he changed how many people see Drake. I'm not saying Drake doesn't have lots of fans after the battle. But after the battle, a lot of people started looking at Drake differently.
Torre put the whole clip in there, bro. I didn't do it. I didn't know it was gonna be there. Oh no. That was I'm not gonna lie to you, that's the craziest part of the whole thing. That's literally the craziest. Believe it or not, there is a world where, first of all, I don't know why Drake was doing this. This was something he used to do at his shows. There's a world where that happens, and you find out you're 17. I mean, you already made the weirdest mistake by having that be a part of your show. And not having, like, vetted women, you know, like, before the show. Have a plant, bro. Don't literally go in there. You don't know who you doing that to, bro. And there's a world where he goes, okay, I did that. That was weird. But I did not know she was that age. That was weird. Okay. I'll still be like, yeah, you're an idiot. At that point, you're an idiot, right? When you say this, now I go, all right, well, now you're weird. It's after she tells you the age, then you say this.
You look like that. You big. Look at all this. Well, I don't know if I should feel guilty or not, but I had fun. I like the way your breasts feel against my chest.
Oh, nigga. Oh, my God. No, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know if I've actually listened to this entire clip. I didn't know he said breast. Oh, my God. You know what's crazy is this screenshot of him hugging her pops up a lot when people are talking about trying to roast Drake. But this audio, the clip is way worse. It's way, I don't even remember it being Drake! What are you doing, nigga?
Drake staggered out of the battle like a drunk meandering out of a bar at 2 a.m., and he still hasn't recovered. Kendrick has clearly moved on. He dropped a hot album, GNX, that had huge hits that had nothing to do with Drake in the battle.
Am I the only one that didn't remember that as bad? Maybe because I've been just seeing the screenshot for so long. And I don't know the last time I watched that whole clip. What the? That's way crazier than I remember. What?
In the book of Kendrick's career, Drake is a completed chapter and he's moved on to other chapters. In Drake's career, it's still the Kendrick chapter, a long, never-ending chapter of pain. He's still recovering from Kendrick dropping a sonic nuclear bomb on his head. Can you imagine what it would be like to have the most popular song of the year be dissing you, and everywhere you go, people are playing it and dancing to it? He couldn't even try to come back while Not Like Us was hot, so that burned like a whole year. Drake should have been in the studio during that time working on new music, launching his next chapter. But instead, he was on the phone with his lawyers, concocting a...
And this is where it all went downhill for me. This is where it all went downhill for me with Drake. Hip-hop always... This is where it all went downhill.
cockamamie lawsuit.
Now he's saying you must have cheated. There's no way, you know? And this is a genuine mistake. Because now, Not Like Us is going to go into public court records.
And it has.
A stenographer is going to have to type out the lyrics to Not Like Us. I don't think he thought it through. Do you know what I mean? Because, and this, look, maybe this is me being a hater. This is me making some assumptions. I'm just throwing it out there. This is what I think. I think genuinely that Drake's lawyer is definitely white.
So he hasn't dropped any huge hits since the battle. No, Nokia was not some big lasting hit near the level that we've come to expect from Drake. And he needlessly prolonged the battle with a self-owning lawsuit against not Kendrick, but his record label, claiming that they had rigged the battle in Kendrick's favor. The suit did as much damage to Drake's career as Kendrick did. It made him look incredibly small and petty.
Here's the craziest part to me. I have an argument that the suit hurt Drake more. The two things that hurt Drake the most was that Super Bowl performance and that lawsuit. I'm dead serious. Because you could always say, like, but Kendrick exposed things and was ethering them and cooking them. I was like, yeah, but so did Pusha T. So did Pusha T. And he recovered from that. So this one was different. Like,
was complaining that the refs had done him wrong.
I can't.
So it's not just the song. I'm telling you, the lawsuit's what kept it.
Stop reading. Drake's filing. Drake's court filing. Suing UMG. I mean, Drake suing UMG, Spotify, I think iHeartRadio, yeah. Like, he's suing everybody but Kendrick.
So yeah, he was lawsuiting when he needed to be recording, and he's still trying to get back on his feet to this day. His career remains a mess. If I was managing Drake, I would kill myself. But if the gun didn't go off, I would say, look, Drizzy, you gotta put your head down and get back to making hits. But don't try to be a great rapper, because you're not. Make people dance. Give them some...
Why are you chefing him like this?
Rhythmic, melodic, dancey hits. Once he does that, the battle starts receding behind him. But for now, Drake remains trapped in his resentment about the battle, struggling to find a way to move forward. We'll see if Iceman can help him move on and release him from this never-ending nightmare. But I suspect that he might stay stuck in this sunken place forever.
Drake was a rapper.
Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and
a longer form video. You know, I'm thinking about doing more of these too. Shout out to Torre for that. That was a great breakdown. 2 years later, and that song is still the biggest hit that's came out in the last 2 years. Isn't that has there been a bigger hip hop or song since Not Like Us? I think Not Like Us is the biggest song that's dropped in the last 2 years. No? Damn. Still?
comment all the things. I will be back tomorrow.
My boy Torre.